Hello friends, this is Cold Run, back with Dragon Age Inquisition. I've been away for about a week now, last played about maybe 5-6 days ago. And I made some choices that I regret, but I don't know if I really regret them enough. I chose to put the prisoners on, take the mages, the rebel mages, prisoner. Now I didn't expect it to be like prisoner. I thought it would just be like we're gonna watch over them circle-esque. Um, and immediately I thought, is that what I really meant to do? Why did my character do that? And it was because Vivienne and Cassandra were with her, and they were telling her to do it, and plus future Liliana was like mages don't know what power they have. Of course, everyone's afraid of them, and it seems like it's not a terrible idea. It's just the the way that the game presented it since I made that decision was like I shackled them and they're gonna rebel again, and I don't know. I felt terrible. I felt really awful about this choice. And so I actually, in the minutes leading up to my taxi taking me to the airport, I replayed the last fight and beat what's his face again, Magister Lexius again, and chose the other thing. I was going to say like, no, I choose freedom, and I didn't. I stopped. I stopped myself and it just felt bad. This is a blind playthrough. I don't want to go back on things unless they really. I feel like the game really presented, like the case I would be okay going back on something I decided is if I feel like I made something that's super out of character with out of character with what my character has been up to that point. Like if they really did something they would never do. If they were all about freedom and freedom and freedom, and then they had the choice: do you put someone in shackles for any reason? And he said, "Yeah, put him in shackles." Like, but my character's not really like that, and I would probably be more okay with the mages going free. I don't know that my character would be. She's a Dalish. She's lacked power for a while, but I don't know that's a parallel issue to what the mages have gone through. Anyway, the other thing I want to check out is what is Sera, because when I'm in doubt I'm remembering an early philosophy class I took where they were talking about how you can learn to be ethical. One way is you can study a code of ethics and try to adhere to it, but another way is you can try to look to a model and do what they would do. Um, so like you don't necessarily adhere to Christianity, you don't really understand it, but you know what would Jesus do, that sort of thing, and that'll help guide you. And so WWSD, what would Sera do? So that's part of what I'm interested in, because Sera greatly approved of me taking the mages in, and so I wonder, is it like a giving someone just desserts thing? I'm really curious, and so that's who I'm going to go talk to and see if she actually has anything to say.
Well, that's mages all over. So many robes, I bet all of Ferelden lost their curtains. I'll just be the other side of Haven, just in case.
Yeah.
Do you have a problem with our new allies? With mages?
No problem with mages. I mean, you know some that are alright. My problem is magic. If mages sat on their hands, everything would be fine. You know it too, that's why you're shoving them up towers after. That's good, right?
You don't fit so X must mean you're kicking her out, is that right? Wow. Investigate. Hmm.
What do you think about the people who have gathered?
Which, the ones who do things, the ones who give orders?
Let's go with the mages right now. Oh, investigate. Vivienne.
What's your opinion of Vivienne?
She's a bitch, but she knows. It's better.
Dorian.
What about Dorian?
He's fun. Could lose a bit more to Vinter.
Cassandra. I'm sure this will be a fun answer.
Thoughts about Cassandra?
Not as buttoned up as she plays, right? Tough though. I'd stand behind her in front of anything.
Yeah, let's just go down the line. Actually, no, that's... I want to
Later.
come out of this for a sec, because I think that... I don't know, I'm having trouble hearing this. Let me try something. Just turning off the air conditioner. Audio. So I'm turning up the volume a bit. Let me know if it's too loud.
Chasing the Lord Seeker, I hear. Anyone who thinks they need Lord in front of the name, that's bad. Bet he's got a portrait taller than he is. That's his first clue to a total arse. Fact.
So, the reason that she is... The reason that she's against the mages, then, is because she doesn't trust that amount of power. And so maybe that's the route I go in terms of justifying this decision, that they have so much power that you have to keep them in check. That level of power can destroy anyone's freedom. Maybe we'll go that route. It's just practical. It's what you have to do. Let's continue this, though.
What do you think about the people who have gathered?
Again with your people. Right, which one?
So we've done Cassandra. I don't think we've done Solus.
What about Solus?
Solus. His head's crammed up 1,000 years ago.
And like, I can take her general... I can agree with her general, like Sera's general principles, while not having the same disrespect she has for some of the characters in the party. I think that's okay.
Anything to say about
I'm sure she likes Varric.
Varric? Too clever.
Ah,
Always saying something, but never saying it straight.
she doesn't trust him. That's really interesting. My advisors.
What do you think about our spy master, ambassador, and commander?
Liliana is pretty in places. Swear I've seen her too. Or heard she used to play. But that'd be mad. Now Josephine, she's as good at humbling her kind as I am. Just with less mess. Knows her business, if you have to have it. And Cullen, I suppose if you want a jackboot, you get a big one so you can grow into it. Nice hair.
It's reasonable. Blackwall.
Any thoughts about Warden Blackwall?
I'm sure she's annoyed by him.
Too good, right?
Yeah.
Like to see him out of that uniform. Not like that.
We'll talk later.
Good, right? I'll be here.
Okay. Just listening here. Is this her?
Empress of fire, save us everyone. The nation reviles, the course is but run, an end has begun. Empress of fire, believe in us all, embrace us with arms and dress us with swords, and light up our hearts with blood so bold.
Is this the Orlesian Empress, I wonder?
We are forever in your graces. Empress of fire in the reign of the lion, eclipsing the eye of the empire.
Yep.
Of we Orlesians. Empress of fire, what season may come, we fight for the day you'll restore our heart and bring us to glory.
Pretty song as always. Let me see if I have a codex on it. Codex. History. No, that would be under Tales, I'm looking right. And I must have heard this before, but I don't remember it. Empress of Fire in the Reign of the Lion. eclipsed in the eye of the empire of we legions. Empress of Fire, what season may come, we fight for the day you'll restore our heart and bring us to glory. So the Empress of Fire seems like she's like a legendary empress almost, more than like the actual empress. I don't know. Interesting. We got a couple more codices characters. We got Alistair. Look at you. His maturity's filled out. King Alistair Theron was crowned the ruler of Ferelden after the end of the Fifth Blight. His people consider him a hero for fighting against the Darkspawn as a Grey Warden. Few wardens have ever left the secretive order, and he is the only of those who went on to rule a nation. Queen Honora, daughter of the legendary Terran Loghain, rules at his side. Although I wonder how they feel about each other nowadays. Although Ferelden has prospered under their reign, it was greatly weakened by the Blight. Tensions with neighboring Orlais have been high. Many believe renewal of their long-standing conflict is inevitable. Okay. And history. We got one more of these. And I really wish I could scroll down without myself clicking on the portraits below. Okay, in Hushed Whispers, those who had been cast down, the demons who would be gods, began to whisper to men from their tombs within the earth. And the men of Tevinter heard and raised altars to the pretender gods once more, and in return were given in Hushed Whispers the secrets of darkest magic. So that's what in Hushed Whispers refers to. To those who had been cast down, the demons who would be gods. So that's who the Tevinter... That's who the non-chantry Tevinter believe. That's what those cults are worshipping. Demons who would be gods. The fifth stanza of Threnodies is a complete retelling of the creation story appearing in stanza 1. Canticle of Threnodies. The authors are clearly different, with notable disagreements on the nature of spirits and the ultimate cause of the second sin. I'm not sure what the second sin is. This stanza lays the blame for mankind's corruption squarely on the old gods rather than on the flaw inherent to human nature. Okay, so it's like original. It's an idea of original sin and where it comes from. Therefore, historians believe a Tevinter author, perhaps even Archon Hissarion himself, wrote it. In the 11th verse, we see this illustrated most clearly. The demons who would be gods can be no one but the old gods. They are credited not only with broaching the Golden City, but with gifting the secrets of magic to humankind. The implication is that without their instruction, these hushed whispers, no magic would exist. So that makes sense then why cults in Tevinter would see those old gods as a source of strength. Like the old gods almost would be like Prometheus. From the Chant of Light, Literary Analysis and History by Sister Desaria. Very, very interesting. So, let me see. I want to talk to, I think, Solus? Yeah, let me see if Solus has anything new to say.
So we have gained the mages. Excellent. They should be able to seal the breach.
Solus was pissed.
You are certain you experienced time travel. Could it have been an illusion? A trick of the Fae?
Yeah, Dorian is certain.
Dorian was sure, impossible as it seems.
What an amazing gift. It is vital the Inquisition succeed to avoid the future you witness.
No, I'm not gonna... Okay. Not amazing, terrifying. Yeah, I think I'm gonna start going down a slightly more anti-magic stance. That's probably like a kind of a not there for, like, if I'm being honest, not pro Solus in this case.
So many were dead. More had been corrupted. Knowing what will happen if we fail.
I suggest we not fail. Speaking of which, you should ready yourself.
For
This Elder One. You have now interfered with his plans twice. Once at the Temple of Sacred Ashes.
That's true.
And now again at Redcliffe. A being who aspires to godhood is unlikely to ignore such an affront.
That is definitely true. Hello. Goodbye.
we'll talk later.
Hello, hello. Yeah. No, that's not, he's not wrong. So, oh man, I don't know how it happens, but those songs just get stuck in my head. In the reign of the lion. Like it's totally not apocalyptic. What's the term when you don't? Acoustic, apocalyptic. It's totally acoustic and it still just gets stuck in my head. Let's see what Vivienne has to say. I'm very interested here.
So Fiona and her malcontents are finally under proper authority.
Yeah, she's pumped.
That's an excellent beginning, my dear. We will have to discuss how to administrate this new acid. Cullen doesn't have enough Templars to handle incidents. Some of the rank and file need to be trained.
Keep them hidden. Keep the mages hidden? No. We can control the mages. That seems hubristic. Let's go with good idea.
The last thing we need are abominations running amok.
I knew you would have a proper grasp of the situation. I'll have a word with Cullen. We are reliant on his people, absolutely. There has never been a greater threat to mages than the breach. Until it is closed, no one is safe.
Do you pose a risk? I don't think she's the same. I wonder, will we get to fight like Abomination Vivienne?
I'm glad that one of us has confidence in the Templars.
Yeah, I'm
It is
skeptical.
not a matter of confidence. Reality does not change based on feelings. Magic is dangerous, just as fire is dangerous. Anyone who forgets this truth gets burned.
Templars aren't the solution. Yeah, Dalish don't have Templars.
The Dalish get along just fine without Templars or Circle Towers.
Oh,
As I understand
interesting.
it, the elves limit their risk by refusing to have more than 3 mages in a clan.
This is really
Tell
helpful.
me, what becomes of the Dalish youngster who is not appointed first or second?
Are they sent to other clans? And what if they have a first or second? This is really, just in terms of character, this is really interesting. So, you're someone who, the Dalish are wary of magic, and they respect freedom, and there's a certain point where a choice has to be made to honor one or the other.
If you want to say something about the Dalish, say it.
For those who value survival, sentimentality is not an option. Tell me something. You said once that you wanted to change things. What future would you build for mages?
I don't think it's mages should be free. I thought that as soon as I made the decision, and over the last week I'm not there anymore. We need mages in the Chantry, we need the circle back. I mean, I think ideally you'd go with a circle that has more input from the mages, that has more exceptions, more case by case. I don't know though. I don't, definitely not the Chantry. I'll go with the circle.
The Circle has to be restored if we want to keep the peace.
That's comforting to hear, but you'll find opposition to the idea even among friends. It's something to consider, my dear. How may I help you?
Investigate. Let's talk about our friends.
What are your thoughts about the others in the Inquisition?
I'm hoping to get her take on some of the new.
So much knowledge and so little personal history. I find that peculiar.
She must find it disconcerting. Okay, I'm gonna move on, but like again, let me know if you think I should go, like every time I come back to Haven, I should kind of go through everyone's dialogue fully.
The Inquisition chose to side with the mages rather than the Templars.
The Carta doesn't much care where the money comes from. We just want a profitable year, and a sky with no glowing green crab coming out of it.
That's the dwarves' take, or that's the Carter's take at least. So what I also want to look for is, where is, not so, Dorian. Let's go talk to Dorian. We haven't had our conversation with him yet, because he just joined. Reign of the Lion. Oh, so this actually is his house. No, it's not. Dorian's just over there. Hello, friend.
Put a leash on the rebel mages, I see. Interesting how they seem to like the idea. As if it's a relief to be penned in again.
Yeah, I'm surprised he disagrees with that. No, it had to be done.
There was no other choice.
Oh, I'm not arguing. Just pointing out the ridiculously obvious. It all depends on what you do with these mages later. No guarantee you'll throw them back into circles again, I suppose. I mean, unless you're as thick as you seem.
And I actually trust his tactics on this. Vivienne is really personally invested. So you can't... So what do you do with the mages? I mean, some of them I think would do well going back into the circles. And I think some of them have to go back into the circles. But there's clearly some mages who don't need the circles to be controlled. To control their danger, control the damage. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, there's no clear answer to this.
Have you gone to see Alexius yet? He's in the cells.
Not yet, no. I saw him before they locked him up. He looked despondent.
Well, he's down in the cells now.
Not the man I remember, nor the one I want to. I suppose the Inquisition will judge him eventually. I wonder if there's any chance they'll show him mercy. He hardly deserves it, but for Felix's sake. I can't help hoping there's something left of the man I once knew. So I take it you're Dalish? Is that the correct word here?
Yeah, it's correct everywhere.
Dalish is the correct word everywhere.
We don't have Dalish clans coming northward, for obvious reasons. So I've never met one of your people before, although I've heard about them. Little. I hope this won't be an issue between us. I am here to help you deal with the Venatori, after all.
I think, again, I'm going to go with the more politic answer here.
There's no need for us to dredge up the past, is there?
No need whatsoever.
Like with him specifically. Tell me about yourself.
It occurs to me that I barely know anything about you.
Beyond my being a mage from Divinity, you mean?
Beyond that, yes.
And beyond my being so charming and well-dressed, which is obvious to anyone.
I have a feeling we're going to have a hard answer soon. Yep, there it is. Very tempted by this. I don't think this much matters, but yeah, we'll go kind
You
here.
certainly think highly of yourself.
It's true. I could be more modest, but I'd be lying. No.
He's a good-looking dude. No way around that.
Ah, yes, me. I am the scion of House Parvis, a product of generations of careful breeding and the repository of its hopes and dreams. Naturally, I despised it all. The lies, the scheming, the illusions of supremacy. That's Tevinter in a nutshell, isn't it? Needless to say, my family was not happy with my choices.
I'll bet they're going to be pissed with you now. Why not go back? Careful breeding. I'm interested in
getting
the
the
Winter thing.
impression that you don't care much for your homeland.
I don't think that's
On
quite
the
true.
contrary, I care for my homeland
Yeah.
a great deal. There's so much potential. Sadly, we squander it. We refuse to acknowledge how far we've fallen because pretending is easier. We pretend the Canary can be beaten. We pretend that we're superior to everyone, even our own people. Not everyone feels that way. I don't. Sadly, we're the minority.
Again, this is giving me very, very. I'm getting a lot of memory or shades of something going on in Final Fantasy XIV within their empire, of a group that wants to. I don't remember their name, but the Equalist or something like that. That wants to. It's not the Equalist, but it's a group that like loves the empire, wants to preserve it, but wants to make it something that's more equitable, more kind of in the control of the people.
It just seems so much of what you say about the Imperium is entirely negative.
It might sound that way. For all our faults, my people have many virtues. We are laden with history and culture. Tevinter is where Thedas truly began, remember? We treasure our past and preserve it. You can walk down a side street and find nothing built during the modern ages. And despite appearances, we care deeply about everything. We have no reserve, not in war and not in love. If I truly believed my homeland was beyond all hope, I wouldn't miss it so much.
Yeah, what's this careful?
What do you mean by generations of careful breeding.
I'm not surprised by this.
Of Devinter don't have children. They refine traits, weed out the undesirable, and promote the rest. My mother was chosen for my father because magic runs strongly in her blood. Never mind that they loathed each other. They wanted a son who could become Archon to make House Parvis the envy of the Imperium. They got me. A cautionary tale that careful to you.
Yeah, your family's angry with you?
Why would your family be upset with your choices?
I mean,
Because I
these are pretty
rejected their
obvious.
idyllic plan. If they had their way, by now I'd be married to some unlucky girl from a powerful family. We'd live in luxurious despair, despising each other as I waited to take my father's place in the magisterium. I declined the honor, and thus it's best I'm far from home. Less of an embarrassment that way.
So that's really specifically. So he had a really, like, a specific path he was offered, and by rejecting that, he, like, came here. I mean, again, I feel like I know why not go
Why
back,
remain
but
with the Inquisition? Why not go back to Devinter?
I'm not exactly welcome back home. Not that it matters, I'm quite accustomed to being a pariah. It adds to my charm. I can do more for Devinter here. If the Venatori succeed, it'll set my homeland back 1,000 years. I'm sure some magisters would disagree, but that's why we kill them.
oh, fair point. That's enough for
I
now.
think I've heard enough.
That's too bad. I never tire of talking about myself.
I'm sure you... Tell me about the Imperium.
I'd like to ask you about Devinter.
Ah, yes, everyone outside the Imperium always seems quite fascinating.
I certainly am. I'd love a game there.
Probably why they come up with so many ridiculous tales. Flying cows over Minrathous. That's madness. Alright, that one's actually true, but the cows didn't have wings. I digress. Anything in particular you wanted to know?
Yeah. Holy crap, we get a lot about Devinter. He has blood magic
Just
common.
how often is blood magic used there?
Start with the gory stuff.
Not at all.
Not at all.
That's what any magister would tell you. They'd be convincingly offended by the notion too.
Yeah.
Of course, what people call blood magic here and what we consider blood magic are two different things.
What's considered actual blood magic in Devinter?
Blood magic isn't inherently dangerous. Using your own blood or that of a willing participant, what's the harm?
Yeah, but you get your
The problem
slaves.
is that what's permitted only gives you so much power. And what if you need more? You always need more. That's where we get into sacrifices and demon summoning. None of that is done. Not officially. Behind closed doors, it's a different story. Real blood magic can give you an edge, a leg up against your opponents. It's safe to assume that any mage of rank does it. The rest are quietly shut out of power, to put it bluntly.
Yeah, I'm guessing they
Think the
don't really have
Templars would
Templars.
object.
I imagine they did, long ago. Once their investigations might have been sincere. Then their balls were cut off. Too inconvenient. Nowadays, only the friendless are accused. Most of them probably innocent.
Yeah, this is, again, this is a great argument. Tevinter is a great argument for some control over mages, for not just saying, yeah, let mages do whatever they want. Like, you don't want to end up that way.
There must be some mages who oppose this.
Of course. I do. And I'm not entirely alone. Occasionally, there'll be a magister who makes noise, and then the reform talk begins. All very patriotic. Meanwhile, that magister will be quietly shunned. Chances are, surprise, it's learned he was a Maleficar all along. Most learn to keep quiet. Me? I enjoy the allure of pariahhood.
Yeah, so he's more of a... It sounds like there's a number of Aaron Burrs that get killed quickly, and he is embracing his Hamiltonhood. Do mages truly rule there? What about slavery? That's kind of a big deal.
Anyone who talks about the Imperium mentions slavery. It's the center of the slave trade.
Ah. That is true.
And? Did you have slaves?
Probably.
Not personally, but my family does and treats them well.
Yeah, I'm sure they do.
Honestly, I never thought much about it until I came south. Back home, it's how it is. Slaves are everywhere. You don't question it. Not even certain many slaves do.
I mean, to terrible attitude. I'm not surprised that when you grow up with it, that at least you try to look away, you try to accept it as much as you can. You try not to question it because the alternative is a really ugly look in the mirror. So it is a terrible attitude, but yeah, it's a terrible attitude.
That's
Screw
it?
that.
You don't question it?
In the south, you have alienages, slums, both human and elven. The desperate have no way out. Back home, a poor man can sell himself. As a slave, he could have a position of respect, comfort, could even support a family.
Oh, la-di-da.
Some slaves are treated poorly, it's true. But do you honestly think inescapable poverty is better?
Yeah, I don't want to redirect this.
Is that what you call it? Treated poorly?
Abuse heaped upon those without power isn't limited to Tevinter, my friend. I don't know what it's like to be a slave, true. I never thought about it until I saw how different it was here. But I suspect you don't know either. Nor should you believe that every tale of Tevinter excess is the norm.
Okay. Well, that's it for now. Could Tevinter be an Imperium as a chantry? Yeah, that one interests me.
There's an Imperial Chantry, isn't there? With its own divine.
Because there's like the Black Citadel or whatever they called it, right?
About the Black Divine,
The Black Divine.
If you mention him outside the Imperium, people make that face, like you're urinating in public. But yes, we do have the Chantry, or a version of it. Night and day comparing it to yours.
Yeah, let's just, Black Divine's really
You
interesting.
really call him the Black Divine?
We don't call him that,
You just call him the Divine, probably.
In the Imperium, he's the true divine. The woman sitting on the Sunburst throne is some backwater pretender. It all stems from a disagreement over Andraste. Marvelous, isn't it?
Why would they disagree over Andraste?
It's not my field of expertise, but the Imperium believes Andraste was a mortal woman, a mage.
Okay.
Down south, they say, no, she's the bride of the Maker, ascended to his side, divine providence, blah blah blah. We feel better believing Andraste was one of us. Makes executing her less damning, you see.
Blah, blah,
So
blah.
we elected a man as divine, the South declared war, and we've been feuding cousins ever since.
So, the Imperial Divine is always a man?
All the better to distinguish him from that other one. Yes. Don't
Makes
think
sense.
there aren't a number of female magisters who bristle at that. Why can't they be divine after all? Same reason you never see a man on the Sunburst throne. Because that's how it's always been done. Excellent reasoning.
Is it really that different? Are you really? I have a hard time. Maybe he's religious. I don't
Do
know.
you consider yourself
I
Andraste?
doubt it, but maybe.
The big question. It might surprise you that I do consider myself Andrastian. I simply do not believe in the Chantry.
Spiritual, but
It
not
is a
religious.
relic, whether back home or here in the South. Something from a bygone age desperately clinging to relevance. It's not an opinion that makes me popular.
I agree about the Chantry. Yeah, I'll go with that. That
Share
sounds
your
reasonable.
opinion, actually.
That's not surprising, considering what the Inquisition represents. I'll say this. I may not believe in the Chantry, but I believe in you.
In me?
That the Maker sent you, whether through Andraste or fate. Cassandra is not wrong. You are what we needed most at the moment we needed it. That's what they will say in ages to come.
This is when the romantic music would swell. You're a fool. I'm surprised that you think that. I am surprised you think that. That's
You
more...
don't seem like the religious sort, to be honest.
Yeah.
If you define religious as sitting in a chantry and listening to a blithering hen tell you how to live, then no. If you define it as believing in the possibility that something larger than yourself exists, then yes.
So it could be the
By all
Dalish
means.
gods for all he knows.
The world is bigger than I, even bigger than you. It laughs at all the things we think we know. The Maker doesn't need me to believe, but I do. The thought of no one at all watching out for us is too frightening.
I'm I probably said this before, but I really like Dorian. Like, the more I talk to him, the
Is the
more,
Imperial Chantry so different
even if I
from
don't agree
ours?
with him, I think he's really interesting.
The main difference is in the whole magic is meant to serve man, not rule over it business. Back home, ruling the unwashed masses is serving them for the good of the Imperium. Perhaps it started with good intentions, but these days it's academic. The circles are in command.
Yeah, I'm surprised they
There
have.
are
No, I'm
circles
not
of
surprised they have
magi in the
said so.
Imperium?
We don't have dismal little mage prisons, if that's what you mean. They're academies, prestigious ones. We have Templars as well, but they don't cancel spells or whatever your Templars do. They're soldiers. They watch for abuse of magic, yes, but only those who are weak or who fall out of favor get dealt with. Mostly they enforce the Magisterium's edicts. The Chantry smiles and nods from the sidelines.
So that balance of power is something that is really important to
Let
set
me
up.
ask you something else.
So many questions.
Yeah, do mages really rule?
Strange that an entire empire would be ruled by mages.
I find it strange that your mages don't rule anything at all.
Yeah, I'm with him on that.
Actually, the fiction in the Imperium is that mages don't rule. The Magisterium rules. That magisters are all mages is considered a convenient technicality.
Okay, I can see how that might come about. Yeah, the Magisterium.
What is the Magisterium exactly?
The upper house of the Imperial Senate, and the only part worth having a seat on. Those seats are split among the circles of Magi, the Chantry, and the major families. All mages now. It's odd that outside the Imperium, you use Magister like it applies to every Tevinter mage.
Is he a...
If you're not a magister, then what are you called? No special title?
I'm an Altus, which is almost as good as a Magister, depending on who you ask.
I've never heard of an Altus.
Upper class. Those families who trace descent from the Dreamers, the first prophets of the old gods. If you're a mage and you're not Altus, then you're later, lower class.
Altus?
If you're not a
Okay.
mage at all, you're
Later.
Sliferati. That's everyone else. We do love our fancy words.
I'm never going to remember that.
I thought the Archon ruled over the Imperium.
Well, yes. Technically, he can overrule laws passed by the Magisterium, but that never happens. Even so, he gets to appoint new Magisters, which means all the families vie madly for his favor. Thus, the Archon gets invited to all the parties. The truest path to Tevinter influence, let me tell you.
That's why his family wanted him to become Archon.
If it's a fiction, that means mages do rule then.
Yes and no. Let me put it this
How
way.
no?
Mages do rule, but not all mages are equal. If you're not from the right family, chances are you don't rule anything. Maybe you're even a slave.
They're
The idea
mage
that
slaves.
anyone
Interesting.
could be a mage, however, keeps the masses placated.
There's... I'm thinking about how in, at least in American government, how so many people who will not be rich, and probably will never be rich, will make decisions or will support policies that support the rich because, I'm remembering this from the West Wing, because they all think that one day they could be. And so the powerful get the less powerful to shield them.
Can anyone be a mage?
Technically, the potential runs mostly in bloodlines, but it's been known to happen. More importantly, commoners believe it can. Tevinter legend
Right.
is chock full of mage heroes from humble origins. So
And
they
what is
hold
money
out
but
hope.
magic?
Someday my son or my son's son will be a mage. Someday. Poor sods don't realize that means he'll be a quaestor at the arse end of the 100 Pillars, at best.
That sounds bad.
Being a quaestor isn't a good thing?
I imagine the average non-mage likes to think so. Counting numbers and shuffling papers all day is better than many occupations after all.
It's no lie
If
there.
you're a second-class citizen among a pack of piranha, however, your outlook changes.
Let me ask you something else.
Is there anything else? About the alliance. Yeah, could Devinter be an
I'm
ally?
wondering if the Imperium would be a useful ally.
I'd think you'd be more concerned whether or not they'd support the Venatori. They won't. At least, not officially. They'll disavow all knowledge of dangerous cultists. Secretly. Many magisters will rejoice at the idea. And if the South falls to chaos in the meantime, all the better.
Though we did... Is that smarter than... No, it's not smarter than... We saw that the future where the Venatori win is the future where the entire world is a breach. Like, that can't be good for Deventer.
It would be in the Imperium's best interest to help. Surely it could use allies.
I think the Imperium gave up on the idea of allies a long time ago. We've been fighting the Qunari for what, 200 years off and on? It's a point of pride that we go it alone. They'll sneer at the South behind their silk handkerchiefs and say, "You've had it easy for far too long." Let's not forget that the Inquisition seems to be an arm of the Orlesian Chantry. Anathema so far as they're concerned.
It would be real. I feel like this would be a really interesting conversation to have if you played the Inquisitor as a Qunari.
We're not part of the Chantry. The Chantry opposed the Inquisition's formation.
You think that matters? Don't be silly. The Herald of Andraste. Your very title smacks of the Southern Chantry. You may as well be a heathen. I think they're far more frightened what you'll do if you succeed.
That's all I wanted to know.
Fair enough.
Okay.
I should go.
You know where I'll be.
So I think that's going to be... Ooh, okay. So I think that's going to be it for now for me. Next time, I'm going to take a look at those... what's the word for them? I'm going to continue to finish talking up to the people around here. I'm going to check in on those codices. And then we're going to head to the war room. And let me just check what that journal will be. Journal... In your heart shall burn, with the Inquisition's heart normalized to march on the breach and close it. Okay, so yeah, then we'll figure out what we're doing next. So I'll take a look and see what our options are. I have a feeling that we can either go back to doing side quests, we can meet the Iron guy, I don't remember his name, but the Iron dude who's going to be probably another party member. Or we can progress the main story. I'm inclined to do the main story last because I want to kind of collect the party members, but we'll see. Thank you for watching, and I will see you later. Bye-bye.